everyone's heard of it and everyone wants one. And, with almost unanimously positive reviews, it has approval ratings President Bush would kill for. Of course, I'm talking about the... Hey! Stop poking me! Dude, what the hell?
Of course, I am talking about the iPhone, Apple's iPod-inspired cell phone.
The iPhone was so highly anticipated that hordes of people waited in line for hours and even days just to be among the first to buy it. In a shocking twist of events, this photograph taken from Apple's Fifth Avenue New York City store contains a mildly attractive woman.
Thanks to wealthy grandparents, I've had an iPhone since day one, and I'm going to walk you through some of the ups, downs, and all-arounds of this phone. Now, because we're all superficial teenagers, I'm going to start with the physical appearance of the device. How it looks, feels, and yes, even how it tastes.
The iPhone is about the same size as one of the video iPods, but unlike those, it's made of much better materials, so it doesn't scratch or pick up fingerprints nearly as easily. It's also surprisingly thin. For comparison, it's thicker than Nicole Richie, but thinner than the guy who plays Harry Potter's uncle. To scroll through lists of contacts, you just touch the screen and swipe your finger up and down. Similarly, if you're looking at a photo, you can make it larger or smaller simply by touching the screen and pinching. Also, when you turn the phone on its side, it automatically senses that and turns the picture as well. The actual phone part of the iPhone is nothing too exciting: recent calls, contacts, a keypad, the usual stuff. But the voicemail works very differently than it does on most phones. You actually get a visual list of who called you and the date, and you can play a message just by touching the person's name. This is about 1,000,000 times better than having to listen to some stupid automated system. When you're in the phone's iPod mode, you can look at playlists, artists, podcasts, and a lot more. Or you can turn the phone on its side and enter cover flow mode, where you can literally flip through the album covers as if they were on a virtual record shelf. Just pick the one that you want and tap it to see a listing of the songs, then start playing. When you turn the phone on its side, you get a display of the album art along with a volume slider and controls. Videos also look great. They play with the phone on its side, and you can double tap to view in either full screen or widescreen. You can also tap the screen once to get a series of controls. If you're in the range of a wireless network, you can even buy songs from the iTunes store right from the phone. You can listen to the 30-second previews and purchase the songs, which automatically get downloaded into the iPod program, and then synchronize with your computer when you come back. The web browser is great, and it easily sizes sections of the page to fit the screen. But it doesn't do Flash or certain kinds of video, which meant I had a hard time playing a lot of my porn. The email program is also great, but the on-screen keyboard can be a little hard to type on. It does, however, have autocorrect, so if you make a mistake, it usually knows what it is you were trying to say.
Text messaging on the phone is handled in a unique way. Instead of just an inbox and an outbox, you get a threaded list of conversations, similar to an online chat program. You buy iPhone ringtones from iTunes at your computer, not on the phone itself. In some ways this is good, because ringtones on iTunes are a much better deal than ringtones for every other phone. You not only get the ringtone, but you also get the entire song, and you can pick which section of the song you want as your ringtone. The downside is, well, you have to be at your computer to get them. And also, there's really no reason you shouldn't just be able to use any song on the phone as a ringtone, but for some reason, probably at the insistence of the record companies, you're not allowed to. You get the usual trio of calendar, clock, and calculator, as well as some other goodies, and a special YouTube player, perfect for watching Bluetooth videos. So, are there any downsides? Well, yes, there are a few. For one thing, the cost. Even after the recent price drop, the iPhone still costs $400. For that money, you could buy almost 120 cafeteria hamburgers, or almost 8 Starbucks drinks. Also, if you want an iPhone, you have to sign up with AT&T, and the reception is terrible around Newton, especially in school. You also have to pay $20 a month on top of your existing plan if you want the internet features to work when you're not in the range of a wireless hotspot. There's also an omission that I consider a major drawback. No games. You can play online games, but you have to wait for those to load, and they're not the same. Now, Apple has announced a development program that will start later next year, so there probably will be games eventually, but they'll also probably cost extra. And also, oddly enough, you can't picture message. Don't know why. Overall, I would give the iPhone a rating of 8 out of 10 blue things. It's definitely the best phone I've ever used, but it's not perfect. Still, if you've got cash to burn, or if it's your birthday coming up, I would definitely recommend one. Stay tuned and check back next month for your next fix of Bluetooth.